Okay, welcome back to Power Yoga. My name is Hope. I teach Power Yoga as one of my classes. Power Yoga is a focused class that's more intent on the yang side of yoga. That's more of the strength side, more of the body movement side, and less of the mental side of yoga. So this class is a little bit fast-paced, and it also really focuses on those strength-based yoga poses. And I like it to be a little bit challenging, but I'll also try to offer some modifications that are also more challenging than what I'm doing or less challenging than what I'm doing as we go, okay? So today our class is going to be on oblique strength. So your obliques are kind of the outside of your abdominal core, and they sort of help us with those twisting motions, and they help us kind of stay balanced. And sort of the purpose for this is we're dealing with a lot of change right now, maybe it's to our schedule or work or school, maybe it's kind of emotionally taxing, but having some good core strength sort of helps us like roll with the punches and stay strong in what we need to do. So I encourage you guys to try this class and have lots of fun. So before we get started, I do have some announcements, kind of going back to our earlier Group X class schedule. We are going to be doing some remote classes for you guys. So definitely keep track of these online. You might be able to try a new class that you haven't been able to try before and sort of explore your options. So this is kind of a cool thing that Western is allowing us to do. The only other announcement that I have for you guys is that since we are not at the CRC, we don't have access to the CRC's equipment. So if you don't have like a yoga mat or blocks or a strap, I've got some things, ideas here for you just in case you kind of need them. So for me, I'm going to be using a towel for my blanket and also for my mat. So I have 2 towels with me. And then for a block, you can use a lot of things. Kind of some of the things that I've used in the past is a water bottle, kind of a nice, maybe a little bit less sturdy on this side, but if I need kind of the tall side, I can reach down and balance on this. And then I've also used a book in the past. I will say I probably wouldn't use a book that you're really attached to, just because there is a possibility that it gets damaged. So that's one of my other props. One of the things I also use for a yoga block is just a box. Like you can use like a cardboard box or pretty much anything. And then the other prop that we usually have in the studio is a strap. You will need a strap for this class. Well, it's likely that you'll need a strap for this class. And I'll be walking you through how we'll use it. But I don't own a yoga strap, so I stole a belt from my brother's closet. And this is what I'm going to be using as a strap today. I will say that kind of whatever you find, I wouldn't recommend using rope, just because the flatness of a strap actually kind of helps us to keep everything secure, and a rope might just like roll off. So whatever you do decide to use, I would recommend something flat, so it can like really get flat against your skin. But those are our props for today, and we're going to start. So when we do our kind of breathing beginning of yoga class, I always try to recommend to people that they find their sit bones. And what I mean by this is like maybe you push your hips forward so that you're actually like sitting on the bottom of your hips. Sometimes you can do this by like sticking your legs out to help you kind of pull your torso up. Or you can also do this by sitting on a block. But wherever you're at, just kind of find a comfortable position for you. And then we're going to lift up our chest and start with some breathing. We're going to inhale. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you don't. But inhale and kind of fill up our chest. And as we exhale, pushing the air out of our chest. Inhale, maybe lift your ribs to the side. Exhale, pull your ribs towards your spine. And inhale, kind of thinking of your ribs like an umbrella. So you're expanding in all directions, exhaling to close the umbrella. Kind of as you go through this warm out, I also want you to start getting kind of your belly involved. So inhaling, pushing your belly out, lifting your ribs, lifting your chest. And as you exhale, we're going to drop our chest, close our ribs, and then pull our belly in. So we want to start with the belly on the inhale and end with the belly on our exhale. So we're going to do this for a few more breaths. Inhale, push our belly out, lift our ribs up, lift our chest. Fill it up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. During our practice today, I always want to invite you guys to empower yourselves to decide what is right for you in your practice today. Really, we're all kind of different, and we're all starting from different places, so if you go through a pose that maybe you don't feel comfortable with, or maybe your wrist is saying, hey, I need a break right now, feel free to take a different pose, or go into child's pose and take a rest, but definitely do what's right for you in your body. So, our next breathing exercise, we're going to take one leg, our left leg, and we're going to pull it around behind us. This is called modified mermaid pose. We're going to inhale our arms up, filling your chest, and as we exhale, we're going to lean over towards our left, towards that leg that's behind us, to kind of get some stretch in our outer hip and oblique. So inhale up, exhale, and fold to the left. Inhale to stretch out to the left, and exhale a little bit more space. Maybe look up, and inhale back up. And then we're going to switch our feet. So our left foot's going to come up in front, and our right foot is going to be bent kind of back behind us. If you want to change your sit on a block or not sit on a block, go ahead. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fall towards that leg bent to your side, to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, to the right. Your next inhale, extend your arms and your spine to the right, reaching up. And exhale, filling that space you just made. Inhale up. Exhale down. On our next inhale, we're going to come into tabletop position. We're going to work through some cat-cows. So as we inhale, we're going to tuck our toes behind us. We're going to push our belly towards the floor, lift our chest and chin. And then as we exhale, we're untucking our toes, tucking our hips, pulling our belly button towards the ceiling, dropping our head. We're going to go through about 6 breaths of this. Inhale into cow, and exhale into cat. If you guys have an intention that you want to set for this class today, whatever it is, maybe like a one-word mantra, like peace, or strength, go ahead, bring that to mind. So breathe in and out. Working through your cats and cows. When you next inhale, try to introduce some side motion to your spine. So some bending towards the right and left as you exhale. Maybe bending to the right, working down. Inhaling over to the left. Before pushing up into cat. Just making some circles with your torso, rocking your hips back and forth, kind of waking up our spine and shoulders and hips. And you next inhale, switch directions. So if you were moving towards the right earlier, maybe start moving towards the left. And every round, kind of trying to find new depth, new stretching, different areas. On your next inhale, you're going to come to a flat back. You're going to push back into downward dog. This is our first downward dog of the class, so if you want to stretch out your heels, go ahead. We always want to have our hips pushing back towards the sky, expanding our fingers to grip the ground and pulling our shoulders away from our ears. You can invite each heel individually towards the floor, towards the mat. And then on your next inhale, look towards your fingers and just take some baby steps up to the top of your mat. Exhaling for forward fold. Inhaling up for half lift, drawing our shoulders back away from our ears, having a nice flat back. Exhale back, down to forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up for upward salute. And as we exhale, you're just going to lean to the right. Keep bending. Inhaling back up. Connecting with our breath and leaning forward. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Working through this at your own pace for 3 more breaths. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale all the way up on that last breath. Exhale, press your palms together, pull your hands down to our heart center, depressing your shoulders away from your ears. Inhaling your arms all the way up again, stretching your ribs towards the sky, and then taking it down towards our toes. The forward fold. Inhaling up for that flat back again. And then exhaling down and grabbing our elbows, kind of releasing our lower back, maybe pulling in with our core a little bit to help that. Just swaying, nodding our head maybe. And then exhaling our hands down to the top of our mat, stepping back into a plank. We're going to inhale and push forward onto our tiptoes, pulling our core in and lifting our hips. Exhaling our knees down to the mat. Exhaling forward through a push-up. And then coming up, keeping kind of the bottom of our ribs on the mat. Bringing our shoulders back and coming up into Sphinx. Exhaling, pushing back through downward dog. Taking a minute to stretch out our calves again in down dog. And then our next inhale, we're going to rock forward to plank. Then we're going to shift our weight onto our left side for side plank. And one of the modifications for this is to put your knee down for a little bit less strain. And then you can also raise your back foot for a little bit more strain. We're going to inhale here, holding this. Maybe we put one hand on our hip, or maybe we raise it up and look at the ceiling. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our hips. We're going to pick up our arm, and then we're going to exhale, thread our arm through. There's a hole that my other arm and feet make, and then inhale back up. So inhale up, exhale and twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Inhale up. We're going to shift back down onto our plank. Inhale and push the floor away from us. And then exhale and rotate to the other side. Either dropping a knee if you like, or lifting your back foot if you want an added challenge. But wherever you're at, we're going to inhale, our arm up, or maybe to our hips. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to look down at our right hand. Inhale up. You can incorporate this arm movement if you'd like. Exhale to twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. And then we're going to shift back down into our plank and push back into down dog. Taking a breather or child's pose if we need to. Stretching out our calves again. On our next inhale, we're going to look forward towards our hands. Rock forward to plank. Exhale, lowering our knees all the way down. Lowering through a push-up. And then lifting our shoulders, but leaving our thighs on the ground for cobra. So in cobra, my ears are pressed away from my hands. My elbows are slightly bent, but my hips are still in contact with the floor. On our next inhale, we're going to press back into downward dog. Making sure we're spreading our fingers all the way out. We're going to inhale our left foot, all the way up for three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring this foot forward with us to plank, and then plant it between our hands. Inhale our hands up for a high lunge. Making sure we're tucking our hips, we're having a strong core. Our knee is in line with our ankle, and we can still see our toes. And our toes, or our heel, is lifted up in the back of the mat. So inhaling our arms up for high lunge, exhaling our hands down to our heart. Inhale, lift your chest. And as we exhale, we're going to take our right elbow. We're going to twist, put our right elbow on our left knee. So inhaling, we're looking out to our right. We're keeping strong hips, kind of pushing up through with that back foot, extending our head towards the front of the room. If this is a little bit more difficult, we can always reach down for a block and just lift our other hand up. This is revolve lunge. If you need a bit more of a challenge, go ahead and lift all the way up and work that twist at the top. Maybe looking back over your back hand. Inhale, push your head away from your hips, dropping your chin a little bit, extending your spine, pulling with your core muscles to maintain this position. Exhale your hands back down to the mat. And we're going to heel toe this left foot out to our left. Go ahead and drop our back knee and go down for lizard. So we're inhaling, pushing our hips forward, lifting our chest, holding my left knee kind of in towards my torso. And then as I exhale, I'm just going to work down as far as I can comfortably. I kind of like to go down on a block onto my elbows, but remembering to hug this knee in, kind of finding a stretch through the back of this leg, back of my left leg, and also in my front right hip. On your next inhale, we're going to walk our hands back up to a high kind of lizard pose. And then as we exhale, we're going to heel toe this left foot back in front of us, and then lower our knee to the ground, almost like we're going to do pigeon, but then I'm going to bring my back foot back up just to bend next to me, getting back into this modified mermaid pose, making sure that I'm finding my sit bones, so I'm not leaning totally off onto my leg. I'm going to inhale my arms back up. And then I'm just going to lean over to my right, revisiting the stretch that we did earlier. Keeping my hands engaged, so I'm keeping the stretch engaged. Making sure to flex my feet to protect both of my knees. But feeling the stretch in this left oblique area. And my third inhale, I'm coming all the way back up, pressing my hands down to the front of my mat, and then just working back into down dog, however you guys would like to. Taking a minute to stretch it out in down dog, walking the dog, if you will, but inviting each heel down individually and lifting the alternate heel up. In my next inhale, I'm going to lift my right leg all the way up to the sky. And as I exhale, I'm going to come forward, bringing that leg with me. I'm going to plant my foot in between my hands. Inhaling all the way up for a high lunge. Stretching up, tucking my hips, pushing up with my back toes, making sure my knee is staying in line with my ankle. All the way up in this crescent lunge. Exhaling my hands down to heart center. Inhaling to push my head up. As I exhale, I'm going to take my left elbow, rotate my upper torso, and then lean down for my right knee. If I need to, I can grab a block and put my hand down on it and raise my right hand to the sky. Or if I need a little bit of extra challenge, maybe I lift my torso all the way up and start that twist at my core, pushing forward so through my back leg to maintain this balance. Big inhale, exhaling to tighten my core. One more big inhale, and then exhaling my hands down to the mat. Heel toeing my right foot out to the side and lowering my back knee and untucking my toes to come into lizard. Inhaling to push my hip forward, lift my chest, but keeping my right knee in next to my shoulders. And then exhaling down through lizard to kind of find a good stretch for me. Everybody's a little different, and sometimes my sides are different. And I think this is one of those days. So I'm going to go onto the higher area of my block. Inhaling to press forward, getting that stretch on like the back and inside of this leg. Exhaling my hands back down to the mat. Inhaling back up into that higher pose and heel toeing my right foot across the mat. Almost like I'm going to go into pigeon, but then bringing my back foot and knee up for this modified mermaid pose. So both my knees kind of facing one direction and my feet are extending out behind them. I'm finding my sit bones, flexing my feet, inhaling all the way up. And as I exhale, I'm leaning over to the right. Find that hip and oblique stretch. Inhaling up. And exhaling. One more inhale up. And one more exhale down. And my next inhale, lifting my chest, planting my hands, and working back into downward dog. Taking 1 or 2 breaths to again invite my heels down to the mat in down dog. Walking the dog out, stretching my calves and hips. And I'm going to inhale and look towards my hands. Rock forward to plank. Inhale up on my tiptoes, lifting my hips and tightening my core. Exhaling down through a push-up. Inhaling up through up dog. Then up dog, my shoulders are depressed away from my ears. My thighs aren't actually on the ground anymore, just the tops of my feet. I'm going to exhale back through down dog. I'm going to inhale, look forward towards my hands, and then step or hop to the top of my mat. Into forward fold. Inhaling to lift halfway, pushing my shoulders down away from my ears. Exhaling through forward fold. Inhaling all the way up through upward salute, and exhaling my hands to heart center for now. On my next inhale, or actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab my strap for the next part of our class. On my next inhale, I'm going to shift my weight to my right side of my body and lift my left knee into the air. I'm going to go ahead and take my peace fingers and reach for my toe, kind of wrapping my fingers around my toe. I'm going to inhale and extend that leg out in front of me, extending my right arm out to the side, and then extending my left leg out to the other side. This is a big oblique strength move. Go ahead and work through it as you like. If you need a little bit more arm length, you can lift your foot and kind of wrapping the strap around the arch of your foot, kind of finding this move here, holding and choking up on it with your left hand. Again, lifting your chest, extending your right arm, and then extending your right foot. Not forgetting to use your oblique muscles to hold that foot up, not just your arm. Big inhale, exhale, back to center, and exhaling that foot back to the floor. I'm going to switch my strap to the other hand. I'm going to inhale and shift my weight onto my left foot, making sure to keep it nice and grounded. Inhaling my right knee up, taking the peace fingers on my right hand to grab my toe, inhaling that foot out, and my left arm out to the side, and then rotating this foot out to my right. Remembering to pull up with my obliques, lift my chest tall, and hold here for just a minute, and then exhaling back to center. And dropping that down. Using the strap if I need it, it's always there for me. A little bit harder on this move would be to inhale out and then out without the arm there to balance. On our next inhale, inhale up, exhale down, through forward fold, grabbing the elbows of the opposite arm. And just swaying back and forth. Inhaling to lift halfway. And then exhaling back down all the way to our toes. Dropping our chin to the chest. And then exhaling and finding a seated position on the floor. I'm going to take both of my feet and put them to my right. Kind of one knee right next to my foot. I'm going to do these modified mermaid side bends one more time. Inhaling up, exhaling to the left, actually to my right, please put that backwards. Inhaling up, exhaling and just letting ourselves fall over. Feeling that stretch, maybe feeling any differences that we felt in how we began to where we are now. Inhale back up, exhale your hands down, and then just switch your feet to the opposite side of your body. Finding your sit bones, lifting your chest. Inhale your arms up, flexing your feet, exhaling to fall to the left. Inhale up. And exhale down. Reaching out with your arms. Inhale up. One more, exhale down. Inhale all the way back up. And then bring that back foot up to meet our front foot and putting the soles of our feet together in cobbler's pose. We're going to find our sit bones. I usually kind of use my feet to help me rock up and lean my hips forward. I'm going to inhale, lift my chest, exhale, and just hinging with the hips to go forward. And then inhale, I'm pushing my chest out, lengthening my spine. And then as I exhale, I'm pulling my knees down towards my mat or the floor. Just finding the areas that I can eke out a little bit more stretch. One more big inhale, opening our ribs. And then exhaling, releasing our lower back. Maybe coming back to our intention. Inhale back up. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us and then recline back on our mat. On our next inhale, we're going to inhale our left knee to the sky, take our right hand to it, and exhale that down to the right. Back my top if you're like me, and then looking towards our left hand, and then working on getting our left knee and our right shoulder to both touch the ground if we can. Inhaling to expand your ribs for some side length, and exhaling to move into that space. Inhaling back to center, and exhaling that foot out in front of us. And then inhaling our right knee up, taking it with our left hand down to the left side of our body, and looking towards our right hand. Inhaling to fill our ribs and our torso, and then exhaling to work on getting our left shoulder and our right knee to both touch the ground. Feeling this twist through our spine. Big inhale. And big exhale. Inhaling back to center, extending both feet out in front, and then bringing our hands either to the side of our body, palm up, or maybe to our low belly and our chest for Shavasana. Coming back in tune with our breathing. Inhaling to fill our belly, fill our ribs, fill our chest. Exhaling our chest, ribs, and belly. Take a nice big deep inhale and just sigh it out. Letting any tension leave you. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just acknowledge them, accept them, and then release them. Knowing that we can come back to them at another time. Doing the same for your intention. Just releasing it back out into the world. Knowing that it's always there for you if you need it. Just allowing our mind to be in this space without interruption. And focusing on ourselves and on our bodies and in the moment that we're in. Maybe noticing any differences in the way your muscles or your joints feel. Maybe noticing If you're warmer now than you were before, or maybe you're colder. That's how your skin feels. Trying to feel. Just being one with yourself in this moment. Allowing gravity to help you melt into the floor. Allowing your eyes to soften and come to a heavy enough. Maybe relaxing the space between your eyebrows, or relaxing your hands. Maybe dropping your chin toward your chest a little. Breathing intentionally into your neck. And exhale, maybe starting to wiggle your toes. Maybe bending one finger at a time. Maybe rotating out your ankles, your wrists. Maybe then give yourself a nice over body, all over stretch. And then just at your own pace, working up into a seated position. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your practice today. If you have any questions about the class, feel free to email me. I'll try to post my email below the video, just in case you guys do have questions or if you're looking for modifications. Or really just any other information. As always, I really like to hear your feedback. It helps me make my yoga classes kind of be more tailored to what you guys need. I hope this gives you some inner strength and some maybe more ability to roll with the punches that we're kind of getting right now. At the end of every yoga class, we always say namaste, which means that the light in me sees and recognizes the light and value in you. Namaste, everyone.